Thank you for staying with us. You're watching TVC Breakfast. Governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, has sacked Sergeant Chidi Awuse as the chairman of the Rivers State Traditional Rulers Council. The governor announced the paramount ruler of Akpara Kingdom, Chike Walu Wodu, as the new chairman of Rivers State Council of Traditional Rulers, accusing Awuse of inactivity and absence of effective leadership of the council under him. Recall that Mr. Awuse was appointed by the former governor, Nyesom Wike. In a related development, the local government chairman in Rivers State insisted that their decision to remain in office after the expiration of their 3-year tenure is backed by law. As a group, they also condemned the governor's appointment of caretaker committees while reacting to the recent developments in Port Harcourt State. We have details in this report.
These embattled council chairmen are not backing down despite pressure on them to vacate office. They say this fight is not about desperation for power, but respect for the rule of law. According to them, everyone should wait for the court to have the final say on the amended law by the Martin Amehule-led House of Assembly, which extended their tenure.
21 local governments.
They described the appointment of caretaker committees to run the local government areas as an act of illegality.
The governor of Rivers State went ahead to appoint caretaker committee members of the 23 local governments, in spite of the fact that the appeal court has stated clearly that all parties should maintain status quo on all the suits before the appeal.
Members of the Rivers State House of Assembly, led by the Right Honorable Martin Chika Amehule, rose to the occasion and amended the law in order for there not to be a vacuum, because the governor of the state, Siminalayi Fubara, was not prepared to hand over to democratically elected personnel. We are not people who are crazy about remaining in office. However, duty calls. This is a doctrine of necessity that has been invoked.
They also raised alarm over alleged plans by labor unions to stage a politically sponsored protest against the police.
Civil servants have made nominations into the illegal caretaker committee that were screened by Oko Jumbo and 2 others. So they cannot say they are calling for the police to vacate the premises of the various local governments because they want to go to work. These are people now who are dangerously aligned in the Simin dispute.
Nolge has collaborated with NLC and TUC to carry out a protest tomorrow, being the 24th day of June, against the police report that the IG has ordered to stay in the councils to maintain law and order.
Despite the opposition to their appointment, the caretaker leadership says all committees of the local government councils have been dissolved. But this group wants the public to disregard that announcement.
Joining us in the studio is a public affairs analyst, Oladende Aria, to talk about this. Oladende, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. Now, we have seen developments coming out of Rivers State.
We call them developments.
What should we call them?
Disaster, crisis.
How do you mean?
Yeah, untoward events. You see, because at the end of the day, the people of Rivers State, the voters, the masses, are the ones who are going to carry the can. With all of these acrimonies, they are not getting good governance. The governor will be pretending to be doing things.
Pretending?
Yeah,
that's a very strong word.
I am using that word on purpose.
Why?
But it would have been different if there is harmony between the state government and those in the local government. And of course, with the traditional rulers as well.
So what he's doing now is born out of pretense that he's trying to address the issues.
I'm not going to blame him for trying to secure his position, because constitutionally he's been elected
as the governor,
and he should be given every second.
And he's taking steps to ensure that the state is stable according to his own wisdom.
We are saying the same thing, but when you do measurements, it's not the same thing.
Okay.
It will just be partial, not absolute growth and development that the people voted for. That's why I use the word on purpose. But you understand?
If non-state actors decide to make the state ungovernable for him, because he mentioned that it was just about 4 months ago that he was able to gain full control of the state, and that's why you are seeing this development or crisis like you mentioned.
Nigerians should not pretend not to know the origin of all of these things. And like I said it before, that the leaders of thought, those who became either through politics, religion, or culture, tradition, they should have nipped this thing in the bud.
Who are these leaders of thought that you're talking about?
I will just give you 2 names. I won't let you go too far. Peter Odili, Dr. Peter Odili was a governor in Rivers State.
Okay.
He made it possible for Rotimi Amechi to be governor. Amechi aided Wike, right? Made him chief of staff. Through him, he became minister and came back to become governor. Agreed that they all have issues between themselves.
So how will they speak to the issues?
But you see, they should have put personal protest, ego aside in the interest of Rivers State, and then sit together. And even when people go to war, they still come back to Jojo. So I would have expected wisdom, okay, and common sense to have been allowed to play, and then everybody should calm down, and then they should have been able to manage this thing before it got to where it is. Let me tell you, there are over 50 cases in different courts over this Rivers crisis. The prominent ones are about 2 or 3 that everybody is talking about, which means we have a long way to go to resolve the crisis. And my concern basically is the fact that the people are not being served. That's why I said the governor is pretending to. I didn't mean there is no acrimony, no crisis. It will have done more. Because I don't pray to be a Fubara at this point, because I won't be able to sleep. I don't like crisis. I don't like having issues with people. No. So if you take it at that point, you will know that it is not yet a good day, for Rivers State and, of course, Rivers people. Now, I still don't understand why Odili and Amechi cannot bury whatever hatchet there is between them and say, look, we were governors in this state. Let this thing not continue. And then they call Wike, they call Fubara and speak to them. Whatever they have to resolve, they can resolve it. And then all these court cases can be withdrawn. And then there will be peace. It is possible. Somebody was saying that you cannot solve constitutional matters with a political solution.
Yes.
But we have seen it done several times. That cases will be withdrawn and then there will be peace and tranquility. Otherwise, nobody knows where all of this thing will end, especially with all these judgments flying here and there. It's not leading anybody anywhere.
And what will be the role of these leaders of thoughts, like you mentioned? Let's not forget that the president has also, tried to settle this disagreement or crisis among these people. Talk to us about that.
The president is an outsider in Rivers State, whether you like it or not. Why it to be happening in Lagos State and it comes in, you know how it will have flowed. Let's not pretend about that. He meant well, okay? But the real deal is, I thought Mr. President would have reined in Wike and tell him, man, you got something doing in Abuja. So face your business. Leave this young man alone. If there are issues between both of you, let it not override the growth, the wellness, and the peace of the state. Okay? Fubara had to come out to say that all the things they agreed, that they were not in his favor. But he had to agree because in deference to Mr. President. But at the end of the day, the other side, they were not playing it easy with him. And then you say, no, you should understand these things now. If I'm elected governor, I should be allowed to govern. And they will get to a point where I want to pull and show you that, okay, I'm the governor.
And he's already doing that.
He's already,
he came to say that, you see, it just took him for 4 months for him to start, being the governor of the state. And see, we have already started seeing his move.
Meanwhile, all those while, none of us knew he was under pressure or he was in a kind of cage. Okay? He was restrained. That he couldn't be governor in essence and in reality. When I look at the issue he had with the Sergeant Awuzie, I was laughing. Awuzie was a politician of the PDP stock. He was, that enabled him to mount the throne and, of course, become the state chairman of Traditional Council. Now, they were going to do an annual calendar, and the governor told Awuse that he should put his photograph and the deputy governor photograph on the calendar, and the man refused, pledging his loyalty to Wike, which, of course, as governor of Rivers, I may not bother myself, because what is my photo on ordinary calendar or whatever? I won't get that petty. But he chose to show the man and say, hey, look, I'm the governor. Okay? And he said he had to go and accuse him of not functioning and all of that.
Yes.
Where were those allegations and accusations before the photo thing started? These are distractions. Okay? And nobody needs it. If you are distracted, seated here, I'm sure you know you will not deliver.
Right.
And that's the problem. And that's why I'm saying it has to be resolved. And not in court. You know how court cases go. The next 4 years, they will be there. And he will have run through his first term.
But as it is, it's seeming like they are choosing to go the way of the courts.
But at the end of the day, what will they achieve? You see, nobody ever thought that a court of law will say that those people who said they have defected to APC, because they are not having their names in register of members of APC, they've not deflected. That gave them a chance to go back to the House of Assembly, despite the fact that there were video and other evidences to show that they said they had left, including an affidavit. But all those things were, so nobody expected that to happen. And that's how we just be going from pillar to post. And time is of essence.
Absolutely.
One of my own guiding principles, every second counts. I don't waste my time, and I don't allow people to waste my time as well. But here we have a state where quality time, man hours, manpower, resources are being wasted. And it shouldn't be like that. Others are not waiting for them. Don't forget that.
Absolutely.
Life is already difficult as it is. And we have a lot of crises, economic security and all of that. Instead of them to sit with the governor and plan and, see how they will wait through and get better and enjoy life. Everybody is fighting everybody. The chairman who has to go, you think they want to go, you are taking away their meal tickets. So they got to fight back.
Right.
But their term has actually ended according to the Constitution. That is their tenure in the Constitution. But wait, let's talk about the fact that from what you have said, the replacement of the chairman by the caretaker committees and also the sacking of the local council chair. Is the governor using the people to mark political scores as against what he said, that whatever decision he was making was for the progress of the state?
Let me tell you, if you are saying that the governor lacks either constitutional authority or power, or political authority or power to remove local government chairman, you've witnessed presidents in this country removing state governors and declaring an emergency. Where did they get their powers from? Yes, I mean, just to say in the interest of the people, it's enough reason to take any action that they deem fit. In any case, their terms have come to an end. They should go. Fine, there's provision for extension, but that has not been activated. Okay, and it's not within their purview. You cannot extend your terms of employment or terms. It's not possible.
Right.
Nobody will. That is illegality, and it shouldn't even be considered at all. Talk less of giving room to happen. All this fight they are fighting, everybody is fighting for me, myself, and I.
Not for the interest of
No, it's not about the Rivers people or the Rivers as a state or as a guardian of. It's not about the people. It's about themselves. When people say those who are loyal to Wike, loyal to Fubara, is democracy about loyal to individuals? No.
It's supposed to be about...
The last time I listened to Colin Powell in the US, he said, as the chief of general staff, his loyalty is to the constitution of the country, not to any president. But here, what do we have? Personality cults, dictating, and then determining who gets what.
So if
that has to stop.
If I hear you correctly, when we saw when the state governor after he made the statewide broadcast, where he said that, insisting on the end of the tenure of the local government chairman, we saw the following day that people trooped out. Young persons trooped out en masse to ensure that this was enforced. Are you saying that that was not them showing loyalty to the governor, that, they loved him and they loved what he's doing for them?
Fantastic. Let me tell you, if I choose to protest here tomorrow, all it will cost me is a few thousands of naira. I will raise enough crowd on the street of Lagos and we'll be at your gate protesting. I mean, you know this thing now. Just at campaign ground, you talk about rented crowds. People can be rented to deliver anything, to do anything whatsoever. Especially now that people don't have money, and they are looking for every opportunity to make cheap money and easy money. They will follow, they will come out. The question you want to ask yourself is, has the government erred in any way? No. So that means so. So the word you use when you are talking about pretense then has no room to play. If you know he has not erred in any way. He has not erred in any way. So where is the pretense? So when I said it was pretending to be busy, like removing, I would say, for instance, it's not supposed to be a big deal. I mean, it's not anything. The reason behind his removal. But it's petty. Right. I stand by that. And then the council chairman who has to go, they should have peacefully left. But there was a power behind them, telling them don't agree, fighting. Were you there when the power was speaking? I said there was, okay, let me just say, there must have been a power. They were engineered. Let's not deny knowing these things. If you don't know, if you are not there, but you can see the result. It has to be backed by facts. Okay, let's even say they are fighting for their meal ticket. How about that? Especially when they know that they had the limited number of years to spend as chairman. Don't forget that they were not elected. They were also appointed. So I think the best thing for governor to do is to start planning local government election. Which is already as quickly as possible. So that even the president said that has just been sworn in, they will know that it's not yet to huru for them. Absolutely. The governor told them. Oh, well, of course, yes. And not only that, if any of them wants to contest, he knows he has to resign. So they should have to get in straight. But I still insist that leaders of thought in the Rivers State should speak out. And of course, we can expand it to the South-South. That's where I can say Baba Clark should be dragged in as well. There are a lot of people, I mean... Has he not been speaking? He has been speaking. He's been playing the devil's advocate. From what you deduce from all the statements, that's what you think is... I expected a better posture from him. I expected the handling... I'll come back to that. To be on that level. Okay, so I want to take you up on what you said that the governor has not heard. You know that part of the crisis on ground was the fact that the governor did not conduct an election, which brought about the amendment of the law by the Amawili-led faction. Right. And suddenly, they're having a Rivers State Electoral Commission stakeholders forum to now conduct an election. Don't you think some of these issues would have been avoided if the governor had done the right thing at the right beginning time? The man who just told you that he became governor effectively 4 months ago, where was the presence of mind for him to have known that, oh, let's organize election for local government? We just needed. He was under pressure. And don't forget that the law that they said they amended has not been signed by the governor. So if it's not signed by him, I don't know if there is a way they can go about it, which they have not done, to now say there's a technical word I wanted to use now. But permit me, I'm not a lawyer anyway. So as it is, people should just have to calm down. The heat should be brought low. Nobody benefits from me. I know, and I keep saying it, it's all about me, myself, and I. But there must be a limit to trying to aggrandize yourself or trying to make yourself relevant in situations. For everybody, for every race there is a start, there must also be an end. They've had their day. Let them go and sit down. Perhaps they can come out to contest again. And if they win, they still take office. That should be made possible. They are not exempted from contesting. I mean, they have not been disqualified. So
Right. Let me take you back to the matter of the posture or position of elder statesman Edwin Clark. He has spoken. He has written letters. He has been talking about this, even calling the president's attention to this matter. And you're saying that you do not like his posture. Why?
In his shoes, the first thing I would do is to gather other elders. We meet, take specific position, come to an agreement. Then we seek the president's attention, audience. We go and let him know that our state is on fire, that things are not happening the way they should, that he should please help us, not minding that he had intervened before. Whatever they agree with the president, they now bring it back, and then people like Odili, Amiti and Co. should be part of that group, and then call Wiki and Fubara together and say, look, we are here now. Maybe there are somebody will say that if you and your wife has issues, that you should get into the room and lock the door and refuse to open until you achieve peace. And insist that, look, before we leave this place, we must achieve peace. What are your grouses? What are your complaints? And you. Then everybody will talk, and then they find the middle of the road position, whereby Wike will go away happy, and the other man too will go away happy. Don't forget that for all Wike cares, Fubara and virtually the senators, rep, and that's what there is investments. And when you invest, you must make profit. And that is the core of the matter now. He came out to say that he sponsored them.
Those are very strong words.
Yeah, he said he sponsored, that if any of them wants to deny, let them come out and talk. He said it how many months ago? Nobody has come to say no or to have countered him.
And they were not sponsored.
Yeah, he was specific. He was specific. So I'm not saying what you said, what you don't know. You know these things. But the reality is that he took governmentalism too far. And that is it.
Now, quickly, because our time is almost up as it is.
So
At the matter of...
I can pay for your time.
matter of declaration of a state of emergency and the police insisting on, this local government secretariats being still shut. What's your position on these two issues quickly?
In the interest of public peace,
right,
something has to be done. The police cannot, the IG cannot fold his arms and allow, some people have lost their lives. Don't forget that. Some people have lost their properties, okay, in the melee. So even if at that, after ensuring that the council offices are not open, if they still cannot enjoy enough measure of peace in the state, nothing stops the president from bringing in state of emergency. We cannot just be there and allow madness to overrun the entire community.
All right.
Future Nigerians will blame all of us. What were you doing? Where were you when these things were happening?
Right.
And they will blame, you have intervened politically, it didn't work. Why didn't you, weigh in and use your authority and power constitutionally granted they are giving you? So then at that point, everybody will go and sit down. I assure you, if that should happen, you will see Wike and Fubara hugging.
All right. We can't wait for that day to happen as it is. Public Affairs Analyst Olade Ndiario, thank you so much for your time on the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
Right.